It's 11 minutes past 8 this Thursday morning, and we hope you're well. Now, every parent wants their children to be happy and successful. What is the secret to that? My goodness me. Well, a new book in the United States has caused controversy by saying that couples should spend less time trying to be perfect parents and instead try to be the perfect partner. What about that for an idea? Emma Pine reports.
Is this a familiar picture?
Guys, please be careful, you're going to get hurt. Careful.
You hovering over the kids, making a mental list of the things you have to do, and right at the bottom comes your husband. Well, according to a new book, this is the wrong way round, unless, of course, you want demanding and spoilt children. Apparently, a little bit of us time sets a good example for the little ones in later life, and they actually enjoy seeing mum and dad hold hands.
By the time they go to bed at sort of 8, half 8, we're really tired as well. So to then sort of make time for each other, all you want to do is, is collapse in bed, really.
It may be difficult to find the time for each other, but if Michelle and Barack Obama can have date night once a week, I'm sure we can too, especially if it makes our kids do this.
Well, there's food for thought. The man behind the theory is American author David Coate, who is with us now. David, good morning to you. You've got us talking in the office this morning. Let me ask you, do you practice what you preach?
I'm so glad you asked me that, because everybody assumes that I must be some perfect guru perched up on the mountain of parenting. And in fact,
you look guru-like.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, just like Maharishi Mahesh, right? No, I must say I'm not preaching perfection.
No.
I'm not trying to build perfect children, merely to make some improvement and some progress. So I'm fighting the same battle all other parents are, trying to do the best I can, and I'll settle for 5% of progress over what I might have been.
So we're
otherwise.
just talking about focusing on partners, wives, and everything. And what's the theory here? That if you get that right, that will be the lesson that the children will learn.
The best gift that you can give your children is a great marriage. And you'll be surprised that it actually starts with our animal instincts. You've heard of the fight or flight instinct. So many couples are worried that the fight instinct is what leads to divorce and problems in families. I'm trying to underline the flight instinct. And the idea there, we all know what it's like to have a fight with your spouse. That's the fight instinct when you snap at your spouse. But what we don't realize is that we have a flight instinct when we are working extra hours at the office, when we turn on the television, or when we make our children the center of our lives. I think it's our flight instinct that's causing the big problem in parenting today.
So that people want to run away and escape it.
That's right. I mean, the truth is we often feel more comfortable being with our children than with our spouses, and relationships are hard.
People need to recognize what you're talking about here. Give us a couple of examples of people who are not getting it right to the degree they should at the moment. Where are we in 2010? Give us a couple of examples.
In America, the big term is helicopter parenting. They talk about how the couple may have grown a bit estranged, a bit distant, and so you have one parent that gloms onto the children and becomes best friends with the children. Now, in America, this is still seen as a child-friendly approach, a good approach. In my opinion, it couldn't be further from the truth. Children are supposed to be playing with children, and adults are supposed to be relating with each other. And the better a relationship that you can build with your spouse, the less stress in the household. And you know how children pick up on everything.
They do.
There's less stress that the children
We
pick
talk
up.
about
I mean, my worrying way, though, is you're saying, let's make this a great marriage. You're sort of saying, let's make this a great marriage for the kids. And I think, in a way, that's already a pressure, because I think a lot of parents worry that they don't want to row in front of their children, they don't have disagreements in front of their children. And, in a sense, what you're saying is it's adding to that, isn't it? Or is it OK to have the occasional fracas, as my husband calls it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that in many ways what we do is for the kids. Right now we're breaking our backs and bending over backwards on behalf of the kids, and that's not good. So if we must focus on the children, let's focus on building a good relationship between husband and spouse, husband and wife, on behalf of the kids. That way at least it's win-win for the whole family, whereas right now a child-centered family is just a ticket to problems down the road.
So we're not talking about the children should be seen and not heard argument. We're talking about priorities. Adults are the bosses in the house, and they should know that, and it's good for the children as well as the adults.
I think we may have taken democracy too far. The idea that a child has an equal vote or even veto power over the behavior of the family is not the way to go in the long term.
It's a very, very interesting argument.
very
Love to hear what you have to say this morning. I mean, we've been inundated with calls. We really have. My first marriage broke down. Gaynor is happy to share this with us. She's from Leeds in the north of England. She says, my first marriage broke down with 2 children as I gave them all the time. Now, with my lovely new hubby and a set of twins, all 6 of us laugh more than ever due to my husband and I balancing time for us as well as them. So it seems to be backing up what you're saying.
Here's what I've found is when there's a balance in the relationship, the whole household is calmer. And when the whole household is calmer, the kids are playing more. Here's the thing that I notice. When my wife and I are engaged in a really intense discussion about some philosophical issue or what happened at work today, or whatever, it can be anything, the kids will be playing and chattering off by themselves in that kind of blissful state that we all want our children to be in. And it's amazing that my wife and I can enjoy each other, and somehow that calms the children.
Your book is called To Raise Happy Kids, Put Your Marriage First. It's caused controversy in the United States. It's good to see you here in the United Kingdom. David, thank you very much indeed. Better give that one a read.
OK, all right. Now, the news headlines you're waking up to this morning.